Once you've recalled a scene, you'll need to be able to access all the different inputs. Now, we have a 32 channel mixer in the closet, but you'll see that this surface only has 16 motorized faders on it. So the way that that works is that they bank through the different faders using these fader buttons. And you can see which channels by looking at this. It's called the scribble strip display. That's a pretty handy thing. On the iPad, it's got the extra feature that it will also show you a little icon that kind of gives you an idea of what the channel assignment is, but more on that later. So if I press fader button A, then you can see that I'm looking at channels 1 through 16. If I press B, then I'm looking at channels 17 to 32. Now, we only have 20 cables running off the stage currently, so a lot of these are unused, although we're using 30 for the handheld and I think 31 and 32 for the different wireless lapel mics. Now, if I hit C, then you can see these all go blank because they're accessing channels that we don't have because we only have a 32 channel mixer. So basically buttons C and D are unused for us. The returns button is important because this affects several things. First of all, it affects how much of the reverb and delay are going back into the system, but that's a subject for another video. Here, this one says talkback. If I have a talkback mic plugged into this thing and I wanted it to run through the mains, this is where you would adjust it, but that's not something that we ever do, so that's also off topic for this video. This one is important because DR stands for digital return. The iMac here to our left is plugged into this surface which runs the sound back to the mixer in the closet, and this is where the amount coming out of the iMac is sent to the mains. So this fader is important, and you access that from the returns. Another thing that's important to keep in mind while you're running sound, and I'll mention this several times in multiple videos because it's so important, is that you want to make sure that you're looking at the main mix if that's what you think you're trying to adjust. It's kind of hard to tell with this lighting, but that's selected now. If I were to select one of these mix buttons, I'd be adjusting something else. I'd be adjusting what goes to one of the wedges on stage, and the main mix button is not lit up anymore. So it's important, if you're trying to adjust the main mix sound, that you hit that main mix button first, and then when you go through these fader banks, you're controlling the amount of those inputs going to the main mix.